Hey there, welcome to dinner. We're on 1 Samuel chapter 9. And there was a man of Benjamin whose name was Kish, son of Abiel, son of Seror, son of Bechorath, son of Aphiah, a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. And he had a son whose name was Shaul, young and handsome. And there was not a more handsome man than he among the children of Israel, taller than any of the people by the shoulders and upwards. And the donkeys of Kish, father of Shaul, were lost. And Kish said to his son Shaul, "Please take one of the servants with you, and arise, go seek the donkeys." And he said, "Through the mountains of Ephraim, and through the land of Shalisha," but they did not find them. Then they passed through the land of Sha'alim, but they were not. Then he passed through the land of the Benjamites, but they did not find them. And they came to the land of Suf, and Shaul said to his servant who was with him, "Come, let us turn back, lest my father stops thinking about the donkeys and becomes worried about us." And he said to him, "See, there is in this city a man of Elohim, and the man is esteemed, and all he says comes true without fail. Now let us go there. It could be that he shows us the way to go." And Shaul said to his servant, "But look, if we go, what do we bring the man? For the bread in our bags is all gone, and there is no present to bring to the man of Elohim. What do we have?" And the servant answered Shaul again and said, "Look, I have here at hand 1/4 of a shekel of silver, and I shall give that to the man of Elohim, and he shall make known to us our way." Formerly in Israel, when a man went to inquire of Elohim, he spoke thus, "Come, let us go to the seer," for the prophet of today was formerly called a seer. And Shaul said to the servant, "Your word is good. Come, let us go." And they went to the city where the man of Elohim was. As they went up the hill to the city, they met some young women going out to draw water, and said to them, "Is the seer here?" And they answered them and said, "He is. Look ahead of you. Hurry now, for he came to this city today, for the people have a slaughtering on the high place today. As you come into the city, you are going to find him before he goes up to the high place to eat, for the people do not eat until he comes, for he blesses the slaughtering. Afterward, they who are invited eat. And now, go up, for you should find him about this time." And they went up to the city. They were coming into the midst of the city, and saw Shemuel coming out toward them to go up to the high place. And Jehovah had revealed to Shemuel in his ear the day before Shaul came, saying, "At this time tomorrow I shall send you a man from the land of Benjamin, and you shall anoint him leader over my people Israel, and he shall save my people from the hand of the Philistines. For I have seen my people, because their cry has come to me." And when Shemuel saw Shaul, Jehovah said to him, "See the man of whom I spoke to you. Let this one govern my people." And Shaul drew near to Shemuel in the gate and said, "Please inform me, where is the house of the seer?" And Shemuel answered Shaul and said, "I am the seer. Go up before me to the high place, for you shall eat with me today, and tomorrow I shall let you go, and make known to you all that is in your heart. As for your donkeys that were lost 3 days ago, do not set your heart on them, for they have been found. And on whom is all the desire of Israel? Is it not on you and on all your father's house?" And Shaul answered and said, "Am I not a Benjamite, of the smallest of the tribes of Israel? and my clan the least of all the clans of the tribe of Benjamin. Why then do you speak like this to me?" And Shemuel took Shaul and his servant and brought them into the hall and gave to them a place at the head of those who were invited. And there were about 30 men. And Shemuel said to the cook, "Bring the portion which I gave you, of which I told you to set it aside." And the cook brought out the thigh with its upper part and set it before Shaul. And Shemuel said, "See what was kept back. It was set aside for you. Eat, for it has been kept for you for this appointed time, saying, I have invited the people." And Shaul ate with Shemuel on that day. And they came down from the high place into the city of Shemuel, spoke with Shaul on the roof. And they rose early, and it came to be about the dawning of the day that Shemuel called to Shaul on the roof, saying, "Rise so that I send you on your way." And Shaul rose, and both of them went outside, he and Shemuel. As they were walking toward the edge of the city, Shemuel said to Shaul, "Say to the servant to go on ahead of us." And he went on. "But you stand here a moment, so that I let you hear the word of Elohim." And Shemuel took a flask of oil and poured it on his head, and kissed him and said, "Is it not because Jehovah anointed you leader over his inheritance? When you leave me today, you shall find 2 men by Rachel's burial place in the border of Benjamin at Selsah, and they shall say to you, the donkeys which you went to look for have been found. And see, your father has left the matters of the donkeys and is worrying about you, saying, what shall I do for my son? And you shall pass on from there and beyond, and shall come to the terebinth tree of Tabor. And 3 men going up to Elohim at Bethel shall find you there, one bearing 3 young goats, another bearing 3 loaves of bread, and another bearing a skin of wine. And they shall greet you and give you 2 loaves of bread, which you shall accept from their hand. After that go to the hill of Elohim, where the Philistines' watch post is. And it shall be, when you have come there to the city, that you shall meet a group of prophets coming down from the high place, with a stringed instrument, and a tambourine, and a flute, and a lyre before them, and they are prophesying. And the Spirit of Jehovah shall come upon you, and you shall prophesy with them, and be turned into another man. And it shall be, when these signs come to you, do for yourself as your hand finds to do, for Elohim is with you. And you shall go down before me to Gilgal, and see, I am coming down to you, to offer ascending offerings, and slaughterings of peace offerings. Wait 7 days till I come to you. Then I shall make known to you what you should do. And it came to be, when he turned his back to go from Shemuel, that Elohim gave him another heart. And all those signs came on that day. And they came there to the hill, and saw a group of prophets to meet him. And the Spirit of Elohim came upon him, and he prophesied in their midst. And it came to be, all who knew him formerly looked and saw that he prophesied among the prophets. So the people said to each other, what is this that has come upon the son of Kish? Is Shaul also among the prophets? And a man there answered and said, and who is their father? That is why it became a proverb. Is Shaul also among the prophets? And when he stopped prophesying, he went to the high place. And the uncle of Shaul asked him and his servant, where did you go? And he said, to look for the donkeys. And when we saw that they were nowhere to be found, we went to Shemuel. And the uncle of Shaul said, please inform me what Shemuel said to you. And Shaul said to his uncle, he informed us plainly that the donkeys had been found. But he did not disclose to him about the matter of the rain, what Shemuel had said. And Shemuel called the people together to Jehovah at Mitzpah, and said to the children of Israel, Thus said Jehovah, the Elohim of Israel, I have brought Israel up out of Mizraim, and delivered you from the hand of the Mizrites, and from the hand of all reigns, and from those who oppressed you. And today you have rejected your Elohim, who himself saved you out of all your evils and your distresses. And you have said to him, No, but set a sovereign over us. And now present yourselves before Jehovah by your tribes and by your clans. And Shemuel brought near all the tribes of Israel, and the tribe of Benjamin was taken. And he brought near the tribe of Benjamin by their clans, and the clan of Matri was taken, and Shaul son of Kish was taken. And when they sought him, he could not be found. And they asked again of Jehovah, Has the man come here yet? And Jehovah answered, See, he has hidden by the baggage. And they ran and brought him from there. And he stood in the midst of the people, and he was taller than any of the people from his shoulders and upwards. And Shemuel said to all the people, Do you see him whom Jehovah has chosen, that there is no one like him among all the people? And all the people shouted and said, Let the sovereign live. And Shemuel declared to the people the ruling of the reign, and wrote it in a book and placed it before Jehovah. And Shemuel sent all the people away, each to his house. And Shaul went to his house too, to Geba, and with him went brave men whose hearts Elohim had touched. But the sons of Belial said, What? Does this one save us? And they despised him and brought him no presents, but he kept silent. And Nahash the Ammonite came up and camped against Yabesh Gilead. And all the men of Yabesh said to Nahash, Make a covenant with us, and we shall serve you. Then Nahash the Ammonite answered them, For this I make a covenant with you, that I dig out all your right eyes, and I bring reproach on all Israel. And the elders of Yabesh said to him, Leave us alone for 7 days, so that we send messengers to all the borders of Israel. And then, if there is no one to save us, we shall come out to you. And the messengers came to Geba of Shaul, and spoke the words in the hearing of the people. And all the people lifted up their voices and wept. And look, Shaul was coming behind the herd from the field. And Shaul said, Why are the people weeping? And they related to him the words of the men of Yabesh. And the spirit of Elohim came upon Shaul mightily as he heard these words, and his displeasure burned greatly. And he took a yoke of cattle and cut them in pieces, and sent them throughout all the border of Israel by the hands of messengers, saying, Whoever does not go out with Shaul and Shemuel to battle, let this be done to his cattle. And the fear of Jehovah fell on the people, and they came out as one man. And he mustered them in Bezek, and the children of Israel were 300,000, and the men of Yehudah 30,000. And they said to the messengers who came, Say this to the men of Yabesh Gilead, Tomorrow, by the time the sun is hot, you shall have help. Then the messengers came and informed the men of Yabesh, and they rejoiced. So the men of Yabesh said, Tomorrow we come out to you, and you shall do to us whatever seems good to you. And it came to be on the next day that Shaul put the people in 3 companies. And they came into the midst of the camp in the morning watch, and struck Ammon until the heat of the day. And it came to be that those who left were scattered, so that no 2 of them were left together. And the people said to Shemuel, who said, Shall Shaul reign over us? Bring the men, so that we put them to death. But Shaul said, No man is put to death this day, for today Jehovah was wrought deliverance in Israel. And Shemuel said to the people, Come, and let us go to Gilgal and renew the reign there. And all the people went to Gilgal, and there they set up Shaul to reign before Jehovah in Gilgal. And there they slaughtered slaughterings of peace offerings before Jehovah. And there Shaul rejoiced, and all the men of Israel very greatly. And Shemuel said to all Israel, Look, I have listened to your voice in all that you said to me, and have set a sovereign over you. And now look, the sovereign is walking before you, and I am old and gray, and look, my sons are with you, and I have walked before you from my youth to this day. Look, here I am, witness against me before Jehovah and before his anointed. Whose ox have I taken, or whose donkey have I taken, or whom have I oppressed? Whom have I abused, or from whose hand have I received any bribe with which to blind my eyes? Then I restore it to you. And they said, You have not oppressed us or abused us, nor have you taken any bribe from anyone's hand. So he said to them, Jehovah is witness against you, and his anointed is witness today, that you have found naught in my hand. And they answered, He is witness. And Shemuel said to the people, It is Jehovah who appointed Moshe and Aharon, and who brought your fathers up from the land of Mizraim. And now stand still, so that I judge you before Jehovah, concerning all the righteous acts of Jehovah, which he did to you and your fathers. When Yaakov had come to Mizraim, and your fathers cried out to Jehovah, then Jehovah sent Moshe and Aharon, who brought your fathers out of Mizraim, and made them dwell in this place. But they forgot Jehovah their Elohim, so he sold them into the hand of Sisera, commander of the army of Hatzor, and into the hand of the Philistines, and into the hand of the sovereign of Moab, and they fought against them. And they cried out to Jehovah and said, We have sinned because we have forsaken Jehovah, and served the Baals and the Ashtaroth. And now deliver us from the hand of your enemies, and we serve you. And Jehovah sent Jerubbaal, and Bedan, and Jephthah, and Shemuel, and delivered you out of the hand of your enemies round about, and you dwelt in safety. And when you saw that Nahash, sovereign of the children of Ammon, came against you, you said to me, No, but let a sovereign reign over us, when Jehovah your Elohim was your sovereign. And now here is the sovereign whom you have chosen, and whom you've asked, and see, Jehovah has set a sovereign over you. If you fear Jehovah, and shall serve him and obey his voice, and not rebel against the command of Jehovah, then both you and the sovereign who reigns over you shall follow Jehovah your Elohim. But if you do not obey the voice of Jehovah, and shall rebel against the mouth of Jehovah, then the hand of Jehovah shall be against you, as it was against your fathers. And now stand and see this great matter which Jehovah does before your eyes. Is today not the wheat harvest? Let me call to Jehovah, so that he sends thunder and rain. Know then and see that your evil is great, which you have done in the eyes of Jehovah, in asking for yourself a sovereign. And Shemuel called to Jehovah, and Jehovah sent thunder and rain that day. And all the people greatly feared Jehovah and Shemuel. And all the people said to Shemuel, Pray for your servants to Jehovah, your Elohim, and that we do not die. For we have added to all our sins this evil of asking for ourselves a sovereign. And Shemuel said to the people, Do not fear, you have done all this evil. Only do not turn aside from following Jehovah, and you shall serve Jehovah with all your heart. And do not turn aside after worthless matters, which do not profit or deliver, for they are worthless. For Jehovah would not cast away his people for his great name's sake, seeing it has pleased Jehovah to make you his people. Also, as for me, far be it from me that I should sin against Jehovah in ceasing to pray for you, but I shall teach you the good and straight way. Only fear Jehovah, and you shall serve him in truth with all your heart. For consider what marvels he has done for you. But if you persist in doing evil, both you and your sovereign are consumed.